is your exercise for today. This one is for balance and for your abs, which is your core. You want to get your core strong, but we're going to start out small. I'm not going to have you doing crunches if you're just getting started with getting getting into this exercise. And I do want to make a disclaimer: if in any way that you can't do these, or you know that you shouldn't be doing these, I don't want you doing them. You're old enough to know your own body. You should know your own body. Yes. Okay, now I want you to do this when you wake up, even if you have to put a little sticky note by your bedside table or something. Do this exercise. So you're laying down and you're going to get up, but before you get up, I want you to lift up bend your knees, and don't you laugh, Paul. And then I want you to open your legs.
Baby.
And then come down. Again, up, open. This is also working on your hip flexors, and it's working on your core, and it's strengthening everything here. You need these muscles for balance. I want you to do every morning, I want you to do 10 of these. Somebody had asked me if I would show some exercises including the core, our abs. Well, this is it. This will help. If you can go beyond this and you think you can do it, of course, go ahead and do crunches. You don't have to go up, but you can do a few of these every morning before you get out of bed. Now, if you gotta go pee, like most people do, go pee first and get back in bed, okay? But yeah, this is your exercise for the day, and I want you to do this every morning. Got it? I'm talking to you.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Can one do that with a partner?
It's Valentine's Day. If you have a partner, yes. If you're laying in bed beside you, each could do that.
That's not what I had in mind.
Okay. Well, we won't go there, Paul.
Well, somebody asked about the Southwest. What's so special about it? You know, it seems like so many nomads go to the Southwest. Why? Well, the weather. And it's funny because Lee just listened to the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow, and we could have snow flurries tomorrow morning. So the weather is usually good, but you can get, a little bit of bad stuff in there too. But normally the weather, you can go north in the summer when it's really hot down in Tucson and Phoenix, or you can come south in the winter where it's normally a little bit warmer. It's not always 70 degrees and beautiful, and also the landscape. I mean, it's a little cloudy over the mountains this morning, but I look out there and I see those mountains. I can look over here, there's mountains, here there's mountains. The landscape, the scenery is out of this world. It's just beautiful. That's an overused word, I suppose, but it is. It's just fantastic. If you go up into Utah, if you go over to New Mexico, California, Texas, it's beautiful weather. So yeah, the weather is a great draw for nomads, as is the landscape. We all want to be somewhere that's beautiful and lovely and fun to look at. There's just, with everything that there is on the positive side, to me, my thinking, and the majority of nomads, the negative side isn't so much. We've got more free land, BLM land. It's much more than there is back east. I mean, I haven't gone back east to do a lot of camping because there is some free camping out there, national forest and so forth. but it's much more prevalent in the Southwest. And that brings the nomads here. If you don't have to pay for the campground or the camping that you're doing, of course you don't get any amenities that way, but still, it's just beautiful. There's a hummingbird right there. Don't know if you could see that little guy, but he came to say hi and just check out and see what I'm doing. There he is again. Anyway, he's very curious this morning, isn't he, Lee?
He's right behind
He flew right over here. I don't know, is he behind me?
He's under your table.
He's what?
He's under your table.
Well, I hope the folks can see him.
Me too. I think he's gone.
Yeah, little rascal. Oh, it's very cool to see those. But anyway, so there are just many advantages, very few disadvantages to being in the Southwest. And that's why we nomads love it so well. So I hope that answers your question.
I had a question, and it was, has anybody ever broken into your van? No. And I'll tell you, nobody's ever broken into my house either. When I lived in a house, and I've lived in bricks and sticks for years and years. How about you?
No, I've never had that problem, and I like to think that Abby, being in the van when I'm somewhere else doing something, I like to think that she helps to keep people away. But you have to remember that some people want to kidnap the dog.
Yeah.
Not kidnap, but steal the dog.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if she helps at all. But keeping our doors locked is something that I know helps. And that reminds me of a story.
Right, exactly.
We have a dear friend who had a very unfortunate incident that could have been much, much worse than it was.
Yeah.
But still, it shakes you up when you have something like this happen. And what happened to Cindy?
Well, she was inside her van. She's moved now full-time into her Pro-master Ram, just like Paul's.
Yeah.
And she's got everything fixed up, but she still works. She's in Monterey, in California. Beautiful. But she decided she doesn't want to retire yet. She did a really good job. But she's going to live there for just 2 more years till she gets it paid off. So she's living there now, and she just got started. She just got, I think it's only been like, what, a month or 2 months?
Yeah.
And she locked her doors with her key fob. And then what?
She thought that she locked all doors. There is
Yeah.
one button that you can push, at least if Cindy's key fob is the same as mine on my Pro-master. You push one button and all the locks engage. And you can hear the click when they do engage. And Cindy swears that she heard that and she thought for sure her doors were locked. But what happened?
Well, she was in the back of her van, and she has a curtain, I think, that goes across. All of a sudden, she heard something in the front of her van. And she thought, well, is that true? And even she waited, I think it was a good minute before she goes, oh my gosh. She opened the curtain, and I believe this is how it went, and there was a man sitting in her driver's seat.
Won't that get your attention?
Yeah. And it was raining. I remember it was raining.
Yeah.
And she has wet. She said she didn't even think about grabbing something. She just started yelling at him. And he did get out, and he started like whining, like, well, you know, I just need some place to go to be comfortable. Is this the way? Yeah.
And she said, you're not staying here, Buster. Get the devil out of my van.
Right. So now Cindy is freaked out. And she's having a hard time sleeping. Hey, Cindy, this shout out. Well, she reached out to me. We're really good friends. She's at, a lot of you also, let's do a side note. You have asked me, Lee, where do you get your wigs? Cindy is the wig lady. Yes, I visited her in Monterey. And she has these wigs, and she let me buy some for a really good price. She let me buy a few wigs. So that's where I got the wigs. And she does have a YouTube channel, so I can feature that. But she reached out to me, and what I'll say what I would have said. What would you have said to her?
Well, first of all, you mentioned her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's Cindy, Cindy Dez, Dez.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's starting to do videos on Nomad life too, so sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I've kind of trained myself when I want to hear that very definite, loud clicking sound when I think I'm engaging all of my door locks. And I bet you Cindy's doing the same thing now herself. But we can get careless. We can all get careless. You do the same thing every day, and yeah, the doors are locked and everything's secure. But to double check, to make absolutely sure, I'm sure that Cindy is double checking every night that she, when she locks those doors. It's just a word to the wise. Fortunately, it had a decent ending. Maybe Cindy wouldn't agree with that, but it could have been much, much worse.
Yeah.
And it was a great lesson learned for all of us.
Yes, exactly. Well, I will admit, Paul, that every once in a while I'll wake up in the morning and I realize I didn't lock a door. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
I know. I think it was like, it was just dumb luck that her van was sitting there and somebody decided to go get in it.
And the weather was bad. He was trying to find a place to get out of the weather.
Yep.
Fortunately, that's all he was looking for, evidently. But
I sleep well in my van. I just sleep well. I did from the very beginning. Well, I will mention the first night I ever in my backyard before I actually moved into my van, I slept in the backyard and I slept with one eye open. It was the strangest thing ever. And I'm like, well, I was like 5 feet from my back door. I'm serious, but it was so strange. After that, after a few nights of sleeping there, I'm practicing playing Nomad. I sleep like a baby all night long. And but I did what I told her to do is, well, first of all, I advised her that happening twice would be almost like 1 in a billion for this to happen twice to her. Because for most nomads, it's never happened before.
Yeah.
So I do feel safer. I told her I feel safer in my van than I do in a house because you've got windows everywhere. The last house I lived in had 3 doors: side door, front door, back door. That's 3 areas of entry, and then you got windows that they can get into. I also told her to meditate on it. What you need to do is, if it's something in the past and what she's doing now is it's a bad experience and she's carrying it into her future every night. She needs to meditate on it, take the emotions out of that incident and turn it into wisdom. It's wisdom. Now she just needs to lock her doors all the time. And how do you take the emotions out of it? Just meditate on it. See this vision. It's like a little movie. And see, yes, somebody got, and you can do it however it works for you. Just grab it and pull out, just vision yourself, pulling the emotions out of it and flinging it into the abyss. Or however you want to do it. Pull it out, put it in a capsule, put the lid on it, vision it, and throw it. Just throw it in the garbage, however you want to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. What you hold in your head, you hold in your hand. So I advised her on that, and so that really answers your question. Has anybody ever tried to break into my van? Never.
Mine neither.
Yeah. So
hopefully this will give us all a lesson learned.
Yeah.
And just be careful. Be very diligent in checking everything every night before turning in. And we'll all be fine.
Well, it looks like the wind's kicking up. They said
Yes,
it was
it
going to be
is.
major wind coming here in just a little bit. You can see it. Oh my God! Even my phone, you can see it kind of.
Yeah.
Well, should we maybe get busy with some of our exercises, our balance?
Let's do that.
Okay. Just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Go back 2 days and start doing these exercises. At some point, I'll probably put them all together and give you one big exercise. But you want to do the lay down one, honey?
Heck no. Not right now.
Okay. We'll say goodbye to everybody. You want to wrap it up there, dear?
Sure.
For Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a day later, but happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I'm happy to say that Lee took me out for breakfast this morning, and I had the special of the morning, which was a Valentine
omelet. Omelet.
And there wasn't a bit of red on it, by the way. But anyway.
Tell them about your hash browns.
Oh, I love my hash browns extra crispy. And I mentioned that to this waitress that we had this morning, and she said, would you like them not scrambled, but
scattered?
Scattered. She said, if you want them all really, really done up, ask for them scattered. And I did, and I've got the new way to order my hash browns. I love them.
Extra crispy scattered hash browns.
You
There's
got
a
it.
mouthful.
Yeah, it was very good. So
yeah.
Anyway, after a wonderful breakfast and a little bit of filming here and a little bit of wind blowing, we hope you all have a wonderful day.
Well, it's a coming, so we're going to probably get this done and head on out of here to the place where we're probably going to spend the night. So, yeah.
And see if we get a few snow flurries.
Right. Okay, we got neck gaiters and we got the big glasses on minivanleague.com. And please, what do I usually ask them to do?
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
Give
and
it thumbs up.
Thumbs up, man.
That helps a great deal. It really does.
This thumbs up. Remember on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I don't think you saw, the Oompa Loompas, he goes, how are you doing today? He had all this hair and he goes, it was cute. It was cute. If you've seen it, you know.
You had to be there.
Yeah, you had to be there. Okay, so tomorrow we'll have something else for you, right?
Absolutely.
Do you know what we'll have? Well, we'll have an exercise.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's up in the air. I don't know. You'll have to tune in and find out.
Just have to tune in. That's
I know.
right.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
It's going to be cold. It's going to snow.
It's cold right now.
I know it. Let's go. What are we waiting for?
If I'd save you, if you were crazy enough to take a swim, I try to make you see that my shoulder is ready for you to lean on. So why, oh why do you still flee when you know that you are the one? I can tell that you've been through some kind of heartbreak. All I ever been with you is faithful like a blind girl's dog. Every time I give you love, you still look so doubtful. I'm faithful like a blind girl's I'm faithful like a blind girl's faithful like a blind girl's dog. We were walking on the sidewalk when we bumped into this person that